Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your Royal Rumble 2022 post-show. Brock Lesnar is the men's winner. Ronda Rousey, the women's winner. Bobby Lashley, your new WWE champion. The whole crew is here. We're ready to go. Let's do it. Start. Here we go. And Johnny's here too.
Hey, big man.
What's up, Johnny?
Mixed feelings right now. Like, I thought this show, I had high expectations for this show, and like some parts were good, but some parts not so good. There are very mixed feelings about this. It's too bad because the Rumble is usually one of the best shows of the year, and I feel like this won't be remembered as one of the better shows this year.
That's weird. Usually you're very high on these WWE shows, and I'm more negative. I thought the Rumble was all right tonight. I thought everything was good up until the main event, the men's Rumble. I didn't really love that. I thought it was mostly jobbers until we got to about number 26, 27. And then the match picked up right when who was it that came out? Not Shane. Whoever came out before Shane, I think.
Randy?
Drew?
Bad Bunny.
Oh, yeah, Bad Bunny.
When Bad Bunny came out, it was like, oh, okay, this is like a big match. All of a sudden, what's Bad Bunny doing here? And then Shane comes out, and then Randy comes out, and then Brock came out. And, you know, the end of the match felt big, but the rest of it was not great. I did not love the men's Rumble match. I thought the women's Rumble match was really good. I thought Seth Freakin' and Roman Reigns had a good match. Didn't love the disqualification finish, but we can talk about that. I thought the women's Rumble match was a lot of fun, a lot of surprises, a lot of legends. It wasn't maybe the best technical wrestling match, but that's not what you're looking for in one of these things. Becky Lynch and Doudrop was surprisingly good. I thought that was better than expected, and it was hard to bring the crowd back after the very hot women's Rumble match. Then we had Bobby Lashley getting the win over Brock Lesnar. That was an eventful match. I thought that was all right. I didn't hate that one. Edge and Beth Phoenix over Miz and Maurice was not so bad. Could have been worse. Could have been longer. It was only 12 and a half minutes. And then the men's Rumble I thought was kind of the weakest part of the show, but, you know, the rest of the show was not so bad. So I kind of like this pay-per-view. On 10, John, what are you giving it?
I guess a 6.
Ooh, low. I want to know your thoughts on 10. Did you like the Rumble? Did you not like the Rumble? I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat right now. Doug Hepburn just dropping a super chat. He says, finally, Ben has come back to Wrestling Uncensored. You are back. What are you giving this show? Johnny's giving it a 6 on 10. I thought it was a little bit better than that. What do you think?
I feel like I'm in the middle between you guys. I didn't ever dislike watching this show. It was never really made me angry. The women's Rumble, I think I'm going to say I agree with you. It's probably like the best match of the night. It had the most intrigue. A lot of returning faces, and Ronda actually coming back and winning the Rumble does add a whole new layer of stories, you know, to tell for coming to Mania. It makes Mania a little more interesting.
Yep.
So, excuse me. I give this about a 7.5.
7.5. That's about where where I'm sitting. About 7.5. If not for the men's Rumble, if the men's Rumble was a little bit better, I'd give it an 8.
Yeah, the men's Rumble was a total jabroni parade.
Yeah, the men's Rumble was not good. I did not like the men's Rumble. The lineup for that Rumble, the cast of characters, not too good. But I'm giving it a 7.5 on 10 because I like the women's Rumble. I thought Becky and Doudrop was fine. I thought Bobby and Brock was pretty good. I thought Seth Freakin' and Roman was pretty good. And Edge and Beth against Miz and Maurice was not so bad. I don't know. And, you know, I'm not disappointed with any of the results because these are the results that we predicted. So, you know, even though I don't love that the WWE went in this direction, I'm not surprised and I'm not really mad about it. It is what it is. It's what I expected, right? This is what we call. This is the match that we called. This is the result that we called. Brock Lesnar winning the men's Rumble and somehow losing the title to Bobby Lashley. We saw that go down. And then we saw Ronda Rousey make her return and win the women's Rumble.
Super chat, super chat, super chat.
I'm seeing a lot of numbers kind of in our range. Johnny giving it a 6. I'm seeing Ryan Katz giving it a 7. Jason Pete giving it a 5 at most. Ray Cruz giving it a 6. JJ Mondesi giving it a 5 on 10. Doug Hepburn giving it a 6. Matthew Henley with a 6. Lorne with a 7. Harold Schneider dropping a $6 super chat and giving it a 6 on 10. Anthony Plesia agrees with Johnny, and Rob Cluse giving it a 4 on 10. So some people liked it. Some people kind of feel in the way we did, and some people feel in another way. Some people not liking it so much. Carmine Mambro giving it a 7 on 10. So I liked it maybe a little bit more than the average. I'm giving it a 7.5. I'm agreeing with my brother here. I'm giving it a 7.5 on 10 as well. Johnny North giving it a 6. And we're seeing ranges anywhere between a 4 and a 7 on the chat right now. No one giving it as high. No one seems to have liked it as much as we did here. The Simon Brothers, I guess we just had a good time. Maybe we just had a good time tonight watching the Rumble together. It was fun. Silent by Deadly giving it a 6.5 on 10. Thank you to everybody tuning in here live on the Ringside Report Network. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and become a member. If you are not a member right now, you can become a member by going to join.ringsidereport.net. And if you want to call in, you have to become a member. If you want to call, you can give us a call tonight. But you have to become a member. So you go to the main, if you haven't joined already, you go to join.ringsidereport.net. You go to donate.ringsidereport.net. And you could become a member. And then once you're a member, you could give us a call on your phone or whatever device. And you can talk to us if you want to tonight about the Rumble. You can talk to us live, be on the show. If you're a member, sign up, $5 a month, supporting the Ringside Report Network. And then you'll be able to call in and talk to Johnny and I on a regular basis. Once you figure out how to do it, you know, we can have you in all the time. And there's info for the members. If you are a member already, you just go to the main YouTube channel page for Ringside Report, the Ringside Report Network. And under the membership tab, you'll see information and info on how to call in. So if you want to call in, let me know in the chat if you're a member. And I'll see you, and I'll give you the thumbs up to call in, and then you could go through the process, and we'll have you on the show. So that's new for tonight on the Ringside Report Network.
Interactive.
If anybody wants to call in, we already have a lot of interaction on the chat. Like, I see a lot of chat and stuff, and I, see what people are saying. But if, you want to have a deeper conversation with us, talk about the Rumble, if you've got some serious thoughts that you must voice to the Ringside Report universe, you can do so here tonight on the Rumble post show. I liked the Rumble, the women's Rumble. I liked the pay-per-view tonight. I thought the men's Rumble was not great. Let's start, though, with the women's Rumble. I liked it. Sasha Banks coming out at number 1, and then Melina coming out at number 2. It's like, oh, I didn't know Melina was in this thing. She wasn't advertised. And, yeah, okay, I'm not super hyped to see Melina on a regular basis, but the fact that she shows up, she's not advertised, it's a surprise. That's fun.
Expect the unexpected, pal.
That's right. It's a fun way to start the Rumble. It's a surprise. It's a little something. Sasha eliminated Melina before number 3 in the Rumble could even come out. Kelly came in at number 4. She botched a Hurricane Rana pretty terribly on Tamina as soon as she got in the ring. Kelly was quickly eliminated. I didn't like how quickly Sasha Banks was eliminated. Zelina Vega comes in at number 7 and promptly eliminates Sasha Banks. She got very little time in the Rumble. Were you surprised by that, John? I was.
I mean, I was surprised that she was going to be in this Rumble at all, right? She wasn't supposed to come back, so the fact that you got her at all was kind of like amazing in itself, and maybe that played a factor, was the fact that this is her first time back. Maybe they didn't want to push her too much. If you're in that a lot longer, you add the chance of injury possibly, so you don't want to aggravate anything more. So I mean, the fact that she was didn't she last over 20 minutes anyways?
Something like that.
Who, Sasha?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, 1 to 7, that's not 20 minutes.
But she lasted quite a bit. They said that at that point in time, she was definitely like the longest one, because she was eliminating everybody at first. Because like you said, Kelly came out, Melina came out, and they were all getting eliminated. So
yeah, I don't know. I thought Sasha would stick around a little bit longer. Bianca Belair, as soon as Sasha got eliminated, Bianca Belair entered the match, and she had some success. She was in there for a little while. Funky's on a roll, Johnny. Somebody call my mama. Cameron came in at 13, the former Funkadactyl, and she got eliminated by Sonya Deville, who was on commentary for a while and then decided to enter the match and eliminate Cameron. Naomi came out at number 14. What a coincidence, to avenge her buddy Cameron, and eliminated Sonya Deville. Rhea Ripley eliminated Zelina and Carmella at the same time. Rhea Ripley had a pretty good showing in the match. Charlotte Flair coming in at 17. She had a good showing as well. She eliminated a few people. Right?
she was in the last two.
Yeah, she was, of course, in the final two with Ronda Rousey. Charlotte was there for a while after coming in at number 17. Ivory came in at number 18 in her right to censor gear, which was kind of an odd choice. She did a promo, and while she was doing the promo, Rhea Ripley eliminated her. She took a microphone and walked all the way to the ring and got eliminated. It's kind of weird, but it was something. At least it was something. In the men's rumble, we had Madcap Moss and Ridge Holland and a Jabroni squad, right? At least the women's rumble, they gave us some fun moments. Brie Bella coming in at number 19 does the yes chance. The whole crowd goes bananas for her. Come on, you didn't love Brie Bella coming in? I was loving it. Don't say anything bad about Brie Bella to me.
I think that was the first time the Brie Mo theme song got a positive reaction.
Yeah, people were loving Brie. I was loving Brie. Brie coming out. Nikki came out as well. Nikki Bella. Sarah Logan came out looking like the Berserker for some reason. Sarah Logan looks like she's been hanging around the, the Yellow Jackets island there for too long, you know? I've been watching Yellow Jackets.
I've heard.
It's pretty good. Bella's eliminated Liv Morgan, which was pretty good. When Brie went to kick Liv Morgan in the face, I was like, oh no, she's going to knock her unconscious. Remember when she did that? Remember when Brie Bella knocked Liv out and Liv went out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty great. And then they eliminated Liv Morgan. Lita came in at number 26, eliminated Mickie James. Molly Holly came in at number 27. And then Ronda Rousey at 28, that's when business picked up, eliminates Nikki Ash. Brie Bella eliminated her sister Nikki, which was a bad idea because Ronda then eliminated Brie. Shayna Baszler comes out at number 30. And Ronda eliminates Shotzi. Bianca eliminates Natty. And then Natty got back in the ring and tried to wrestle Ronda for some reason because she thought Ronda eliminated her, and then Ronda tossed Natty out of the ring. What the hell happened there? Was Bianca not supposed to eliminate Natty? Was Ronda supposed to do it, but there was a botch, so Natty came back in the ring to get eliminated for a second time by Ronda? Did you notice that? What was that?
Yeah, well, they make it mention that Natty was trying to go for another record or something. So maybe there was something to do with that. I'm not sure.
That was weird, right?
Yeah, it was a very strange thing. I wasn't quite sure what that spot was.
Anyways, Charlotte eliminated Lita and then eliminated Rhea Ripley and Bianca and Shayna at the same time. Charlotte was tossing everybody out at the end there. Lita, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler. She tossed everybody, and then Ronda eliminated Charlotte. And Ronda wins the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble. As we predicted, there were strong rumors that Ronda Rousey was going to make her return here, and if she's in, she's going to win. And she was in. And I kind of expected it. And I also love it. I love Ronda Rousey. I think she's great. She's one of the most important people in the history of combat sports. She's the reason why women main evented WrestleMania. She's the reason why women are in the UFC right now. Ronda Rousey is very important. I'm a big fan of Ronda Rousey, so I'm happy to see her come back. And she's going to show up on Raw tomorrow night, probably to challenge Becky Lynch for a Raw Women's title match at WrestleMania. I thought this was my match of the night. It was your match of the night,
My
too.
match of the night, too.
Johnny, what did you think of the Women's Rumble? You didn't like it.
This is not my favorite match, no. There's a lot of parts I didn't like about it. I mean, yeah, Ronda winning, that's great. I thought people could have fed for her better. I thought when she came in, I thought a lot of people didn't make her look as strong as she should have been.
Yeah, I thought so, too.
Nikki was bad. Yeah, you saw that. Yeah,
yeah, she was just immediately in the corner, kind of like punching and stuff. She didn't really get any moves in.
Yeah.
Like,
go ahead,
Ronda's got to look super strong, and like she didn't. Like, and I didn't like the ending too with Charlotte. Like, yeah, she eliminated Charlotte, but like that was lazy. They just lock up. She throws her out. That's called not being creative at all. That's just like, oh, let's just get out of this. Like, yeah. Charlotte shouldn't be the easy one. The other one should have been easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't disagree with you. I don't think that the execution of it all was great. I don't think that the finish was great. I don't think that Ronda looked particularly good at any point during this. But I don't know how important that is. Because the end result is what you got. Ronda Rousey winning the Rumble and setting up a match with Becky Lynch, and she's got time to get into ring shape and practice wrestling and do all that stuff. This is just a Rumble appearance. She was there. She did the job. It was what it was. She wasn't there to have a classic match. Nobody has a classic effort in the Rumble. This is what you do in the Rumble. You push somebody in the corner, you throw punches, you wait for the next elimination. You wait for your spot, and that's what she did. Also, how much you really expect her to do? She's not like a seasoned veteran of wrestling. But when she's in there, when she has these matches, she can really step up and have some great matches. So, I've got no problem with what Ronda did. She didn't do much, but I didn't need her to do a lot. I just needed her to show up, win the thing, and set up the next thing. That's what it's about. Like, I don't expect a Rumble to be like this classic match, you know?
I get that.
But it was the most enjoyable match of the night for me. It was the match that I got the most entertainment value out of. I don't think it was the best professional wrestling match that we saw tonight. I think Seth Freakin' and Roman Reigns was probably the best wrestling match we saw tonight. Bobby and Brock was pretty good too. But I didn't get that much enjoyment out of those matches. Seth Freakin' and Roman were doing a really good job, and then the disqualification happened, which I didn't love. Seth coming out with the Shield theme was pretty cool, and the Shield gear. Seth powerbombing Roman through the announce table. Seth getting a lot of over on Roman, putting Roman in vulnerable situations, which you don't see very often. Hit the curb stomp for a 2 count. Thought it might be over at that point when he hit that curb stomp. Roman speared Seth outside the ring, brought him in for a second, but then Seth countered a pedigree, countered a second spear from Roman into a pedigree for a 2 count. Roman put Rollins in the guillotine. This was the finish. Roman put Rollins in the guillotine, but Charles Robinson, the referee, went to check if Seth was unconscious, so he grabbed his arm. He did the pick up your arm and then drop it to see if it drops 3 times thing. But when he picked up his arm, he dropped the arm and Seth's hand grabbed the bottom rope. So it appeared as though the referee helped Seth get the bottom rope, but Seth was not unconscious because you could see Seth. The camera got a good angle of Seth gripping that bottom rope, still conscious, trying to get the rope break, despite being in Roman Reigns' chokehold for a very long time. Roman did not break the 5 count, did not break for the rope, and got disqualified. And then he held on to the choke a little bit afterwards, and then he kind of stood there. He hit Seth with a chair, though, after a bunch of times because he was mad that Seth beat him by disqualification, I guess.
Yeah, you're saying something like, you deserve this.
Yeah.
Something, you have this coming to you.
So
Stuff
maybe
like that.
we'll see a
In the
return
back, yeah.
match. Maybe we'll see a rematch here between Seth and Roman at some point. But yeah, Roman kind of softening Seth up for something down the road. Hit Seth with a bunch of chair shots after the match. I like the match, but the finish and then the after-match beatdown was kind of flat. Like, the finish was not great.
Yeah.
The disqualification finish, especially when you're opening the pay-per-view with a big title match. This is the first match that the fans see, and you end it in a disqualification like this, and the disqualification is so weak where Roman just has Seth in his finisher, and Seth has the rope, and Roman won't break, so that's the match. To open the pay-per-view like this sucks. You know, it's bad. And then afterwards, Roman just getting angry and hitting Seth with the chair. Like, I feel bad for Seth Rollins because he's taking punishment. It hurts, but no one's even watching. At that point, no one cares. Everybody tunes out. Roman could hit Seth with 1 chair shot or 5 or 10, or I don't even know. Because after the first one, you're just like, yeah, whatever.
Match is over. Who
What's
cares?
next? Like, you know what I mean? After the first chair shot, none of them matter after. I know he hit him with a bunch, but I didn't count, and I didn't care. Because I don't care about Roman and Seth, because Roman and Seth is just a bump in the road for Roman and Brock. And, like, you know, the match had a bad ending, and then Roman does this chair shot stuff, and it's like, yeah, when's this over with? Meanwhile, poor Seth is getting hit with a chair, and it must hurt, but, like, no one cares, so what's the point?
And they've done this finish, like, you know, I've been watching the show, you know, in my absence, and they've done this finish of, like, the DQ
Constantly.
of the 5 count, you know, like 2 or 3 times in the last couple weeks. So to do this in this big, you know, hyped up match at the start of the show, like, there were audible boos from the audience, and it wasn't just the bad guy gets away with it. They were upset with, like, the finish. They saw it too. They see the product.
Too much.
Yeah.
They do this finish too much where, like, the guy won't stop attacking and then the ref says it's over, calls to 5. And
It's an audience killer.
like, it happened on Monday with Damian Priest putting the boots to Kevin Owens in the corner and the ref called for the DQ. It happened last week on SmackDown.
Natty, I think.
Natty
Aaliyah?
and Aaliyah. Or,
Yeah.
yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they did it the following Monday on Raw. It's just bad. And then they do it here at the Royal Rumble to open the show in a title match. Like, the match was good, but damn, that finish is weak. And it's not the way to start a pay-per-view.
It almost kind of takes away all the effort they put in there. Because if you end the match like that, you kind of almost forget what they pulled off. And it's really a shame. Like you said, like, it's probably the best match. But that finish pretty much ruins the match from making it the best match. It's too bad. Like, and they could do a DQ finish. Just don't do the repetitive DQ finish you've been doing for weeks on television.
Mm-hmm. It's Damian
That's the
Priest's
main
gimmick
problem,
at this
I think.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Roman kind of snapped, too, like Damian Priest after the match, right?
Yeah.
He's like, ah! And then he hit him with a chair. He's kind of stealing
The
Damian
same
Priest.
long-haired guys.
Yeah. So what was your match of the night? We have the Women's Rumble as our match of the night. Pound it. That's how we got it. What do you got?
Well, I just go with the match I enjoyed the most. I think it was Brock and Bobby.
That was decent.
I didn't love the finish for that, though. Like, that was kind of like, huh? What is this now? What I want to know what your match of the night was. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I'm
The
talking
people.
to you. I'm talking to you. You. Everybody in the chat, what was your match of the night? I've got the Women's Rumble. He's got the Women's Rumble. Johnny's got Brock and Bobby, which we can get to. Bobby Lashley beats Brock Lesnar to become the new WWE champion tonight. The German suplexes were fun. Brock German suplex and Bobby. Bobby German suplex and Brock. Brock responding with some stiff German suplexes on Bobby. You notice at a certain point, Bobby stopped taking him on the back of the neck and shoulders, and when Brock started tossing him, Bobby would fling himself to the side and just kind of take him on his side because his neck had enough. You notice that? He was like kind of begging off the suplex
more
bumps.
dangerous.
So why was he doing that?
Well, probably because, like you said, like his neck was in pain and
Yeah.
he was trying to protect himself. When you do that, you actually probably hurt yourself more. Like you could easily tear something in your elbow doing that.
Yeah.
Shoulders, like you say, it's actually more dangerous doing something like that. And it just kept coming. Like, here's the problem too. Like Bobby's probably hurt. Well, if you're the ref, what are you going to do? You're going to tell him, hey, Brock, you got to ease up? You think Brock's going to ease up? That's not going to happen. It's a very interesting situation that we saw there, and you could see it developing. And to me, it's like, oh my god, like this is a fight now. Like Bobby's going to fight for his life here because like he might not walk out of this one.
Yeah, but he did. I mean, it was all right.
Well, luckily, like there was only six
Germans, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. The finish came when Brock went for the F5, but Bobby's legs hit the referee and knocked the ref out. Brock hits the F5, but there's no ref to count 3. Roman Reigns, of course, shows up because he hates Brock Lesnar so much. He spears Brock, then stares down Paul Heyman and tells him to give him the WWE Championship. Heyman gives Roman the belt. Roman hits Brock in the face with the belt. Roman leaves. Another ref comes down. You would think the ref had seen all this interference being backstage, but yeah, whatever.
They come in with fresh eyes.
Yeah, the ref comes down and he's like,
That's it.
This seems like a fair finish. 1, 2, 3. Match is over. Doesn't even see Bobby Lashley hit an offensive move or anything. Just sees Roman Reigns leaving the scene of the crime and is like, yeah, that seems fair. 1, 2, 3. Bobby Lashley's the new WWE champion. And Brock Lesnar's down and out. And Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman leave together. So Roman back with the wise man, Paul Heyman, and Brock Lesnar has lost his advocate. I guess now for good, right? Because Heyman, he fully turned on Brock tonight. Cost Brock the WWE Championship.
Well, it's amazing how this all came together because this wasn't supposed to originally happen, right? Like, more than likely, I don't think Heyman was ever really supposed to go with Lesnar, but because the way things worked out, when Roman missed last pay-per-view, it's just, well, this kind of works. We'll give him the title, and then we'll screw him out, have Heyman do it. Adds to the story towards WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's just not a very interesting story.
It's just, the WWE's all about Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, and they will sacrifice anybody and everybody to get to this point. It's just... Brock had Bobby beat, but Roman Reigns comes in and costs Brock the match. Roman and Heyman conspire to screw Brock Lesnar out of the WWE Championship, but you can't keep Brock down. He's going to come back at the end of the night at number 30 in the Rumble, win the Rumble, go on to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania so that Roman Reigns can get an even bigger win on Brock Lesnar because now Brock is, even stronger having won the Royal Rumble. It's all
That's the biggest gap too, by the way.
It's all about getting a big win for Roman at WrestleMania. It's all about making Roman the bigger star, which I understand, and that is what the WWE is about. But it doesn't make for the best TV. When you're watching the Royal Rumble, it's kind of like, man, they're really going to make the whole show about these guys? And we predicted that they would because that's what they do. And they did. And it's kind of...
Now it's here.
It's kind of, like I said on the preview show, I was like, man, I think Brock's going to win. And I don't really want to see it, but the whole show's about making Roman bigger. So Brock wins the Rumble to make Roman bigger when he beats him at Mania.
Well, before Brock came out, when you saw the guys in the ring and you're like, wow, these guys, who's going to win the match? Like, I don't know about you. Like, I looked at him like, none of these guys are going to win this match. It's got to be number 30. Whoever it is, if it's Brock or not, number 30 is winning. Because all these guys, there's no way they're winning.
When Kevin came out
He got a good
at
pop.
22, I think, there was an aura in
That's
the
nice.
audience of like, oh, this could be a winning number. You know, there's a feeling. And it quickly dissipated.
I don't know.
But it was there. It was there for a moment. I felt it.
I wanted to see
I mean,
it.
you can like somebody. You know,
But the
people
audience felt
like
it too. They were kind of a
Dave's
smart
loved
crowd in
Daniel
St. Louis.
Bryan so much, and the fans love him too. But they never went that way in the Rumble. As sad as it is, they never went that way.
Yep.
They used to. The Rumble used to be filled with moments like that and victories for people like that. The guys that, like, you know, the real diehards pull for, and then you finally get to see their moment. You know, guys like Chris Benoit, you know?
Well, the Rumble used to be about making people, and now it's about cementing people.
Yeah.
You know, we've looked at the past Rumbles. Brock Lesnar winning his second Royal Rumble tonight, and this is really what's happened. From 1988 to 2001, there were 3 men that had won more than one Rumble. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, and Hulk Hogan.
They're all back to back.
Yes, all back-to-back as well.
Austin won 3, didn't he?
Austin won 3. He won 2 back-to-back and then won another time.
He won in 01.
He won in 01. He won in
98, 99, and 01.
No, 97,
No, 97.
97, 98, and 2001. Shawn Michaels won in 95 and 96, and Hulk Hogan won in 1990 and 1991. So those were the multi-time winners, right? But after that, they kind of used it to make guys. You know, guys won their first Rumbles for several years, from 2001 all the way up until 2013. 12 years later, when John Cena won his second Royal Rumble. After Cena won his second and joined the club, became the 4th member of the club, then we had Batista joining the club in 2014. Triple H joining the club in 2016. Randy Orton joining the club when he won his second Rumble in 2017. And Edge won his second Rumble last year, joining the club in 2021. So in the past 10 years, more people have joined that 2 Rumble club than in the first, 20 years of the Royal Rumble. And here again tonight, another second-time winner, Brock Lesnar. They don't make new stars, and you wonder why. Because they don't spread that Rumble love around. They just use it to make somebody even bigger. They just use it to make the stars that they had in the early 2000s even bigger. Look at the Rumble winners in the past 10 years. Past 10 years, right? Starting in, say, 2013. Cena, Batista, Roman, Triple H, Randy, Nakamura, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Edge, and now Brock Lesnar. A lot of guys that were around, 20 years ago.
But they made a slight change, though. So I feel like those past Rumble winners, they wouldn't main event WrestleMania. They'd just be another match on the show. Yeah, maybe they'd win the title, maybe they'd lose the title, but they weren't the main event. Now they've kind of positioned it where it's like the Rumble's really important. Whoever wins is going to be in a main event match.
Yeah, but they don't use that for somebody new or somebody. They don't use it to elevate somebody into the main event match, right? They use it to make somebody that's
heck no.
already a star a bigger star, or a slightly bigger star. Like, does winning the Royal Rumble tonight for Brock Lesnar make him any bigger? Is he more important now? Is he worth more
Is
now
he
that
more
he's
credible?
Is he more credible somehow? Like, was he? You know what I mean? It's like there's no lack of credibility with Brock Lesnar. Did Brock need this at all? In any way, did Brock need this, or did the WWE need this to set up the Brock-Roman match because they couldn't find another way to do it? Because I'm not sure why.
Brock's not going to Elimination Chamber.
I don't think Brock becomes bigger after winning this. He's not more credible, right? Is he, John?
Well, like you said, it helps set up the story. And they have limited Brock appearances, limited times when Brock actually wrestles. So he's already there. and you have a way to put him right into the main event without having another show, it's just easier and quicker to do it this way.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's easier and quicker. It's lazier. It's, kind of slapped together, whatever. Brock Lesnar double booked tonight. How about that? Wrestles 10 minutes with Bobby Lashley, then enters the Rumble. When is the last time you saw Brock Lesnar wrestle twice on a WWE show? Has it ever happened? Maybe a King of the Ring?
Yeah, that's probably about it.
Right?
Yeah.
When he won King of the Ring.
Yeah, he wrestled twice that night.
2002.
Yeah. It's probably the last time Brock Lesnar wrestled twice on a WWE pay-per-view. When he won King of the Ring in 2002. Because it was a tournament. And tonight he loses to Bobby Lashley with help from Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. But he comes in to win the Royal Rumble. AJ and Shinsuke Nakamura started the match together. Started off pretty cool, but then Shinsuke was eliminated quickly, and we got the Job Squad just running in. It was just awful. The list of guys, I mean, we knew who was in this thing, but once you saw them enter the Rumble, it's just like, ugh. Because every time somebody enters the Rumble, you go, oh, cool, who's it going to be? And then number 3 was Austin Theory, and you're like, oh, okay, Austin Theory, he's got his thing with Vince. He's kind of an interesting character. And then number 4, who's it going to be? Oh, it's Robert Roode. And then he got eliminated pretty quickly, so that was all right. But then who's in at number 5? Oh, it's Ridge Holland.
Who lasted quite a while.
Yeah. And then at number 6, it was Montez Ford. And then at number 7, it was Damian Priest. And at that point, I'm like, man, this Rumble is not going so well. And then Sami Zayn comes in at number 8, and you say, oh, well, Johnny Knoxville must be number 9. And, of course, he was. What a coincidence that they drew back-to-back numbers. They're involved in this story together on SmackDown where Johnny Knoxville's entire Royal Rumble appearance is based on Sami Zayn. And, they're involved in all these segments together. And what a coincidence that the completely randomly drawn Royal Rumble numbers have Sami Zayn coming in right before Johnny Knoxville.
So random.
So random, John. Isn't it crazy? Isn't wrestling just so unpredictable? Fuck. Just wait a couple guys to put in Johnny Knoxville. Couldn't Johnny Knoxville come in after Angelo Dawkins? Did he have to come in right after Sami Zayn? Does it have to be this fake?
I didn't mind his involvement, though. I like that he took a beating from AJ. He took the frog splash as well. He served his purpose in this one.
Montez landed on his legs.
Oh, my God. That frog splash looked horrible.
Well, that's his fault, but whatever.
Yeah.
The fact that Knoxville took that stuff, I respect that.
I don't know. I don't like him spearing Sami Zayn and landing punches, just completely taking Sami out as soon as he got into the ring, and no selling AJ Styles strikes until AJ had to lay him out with a clothesline and put him down on the mat. But those first few strikes that AJ threw, Knoxville didn't sell whatsoever. I thought that looked kind of bad. And then Montez's splash on his legs looked like maybe Knoxville broke his leg there. Could have. And then Ridge Holland just picking him up and then not slamming him, doing nothing, just picking him up and placing him down on the ring apron for no reason other than setting up Sami Zayn to do his big boot and eliminate Johnny Knoxville. I don't know. There was a lot of shit in there that I thought was bad. The no selling of the AJ stuff, Montez almost breaking Johnny Knoxville's leg with the splash because Knoxville was in the wrong spot or whatever, and then Ridge Holland picking him up and putting him down like a baby for no reason. All of that was bad.
Well, Ridge Holland doesn't want to hurt him. He get heat for that.
Why not, though? I mean, no, but in the match, why is he being so gentle? What the hell was that?
See, I think really the problem with this show is just execution. I think they had some good ideas, but the execution in a lot of areas was just kind of poor.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Johnny Knoxville executing these things, so no shit it's going to be bad, right? And then here comes Omos at number 11. Like, it just didn't stop with the jobbers. Angelo Dawkins in at 10. Omos in at 11. Rick O'Shea in at 12. And then we had Chad Gable. And Chad Gable came up with a good idea.
Probably one of my favorite spots of the Rumble match.
This was the best part of the Rumble match, I think. Chad Gable. Chad Gable.
Was it?
I don't know. He gets
I like
a bunch
Randy and Riddle.
What did they do? Team up on guys?
Yeah. Did you see that little thing they did where Riddle hit their RKO like on Drew? Like that looked like it was really rough on Drew. I don't think Drew was expecting that one.
It was a bit sloppy.
I like the Chad Gable thing because it told a little story and they did something that was unusual of most Royal Rumbles. Chad Gable comes in, and of all the guys that are in the match, he says, "Hey guys, let's get together here and let's try and eliminate Omos. Let's all kind of get together and eliminate this giant guy because he seems like he might beat us all, right?" So then they decide we're going to throw Damian Priest at Omos first, and then they do that, and Omos eliminates Damian Priest. And then all the guys jump at Omos, and they get him by the ropes, and they start trying to push him and get him out of the ring. And then Dominic Mysterio comes out at number 14 after Gable, and I think, oh no, here comes Dominic to ruin this thing. He's going to stop the heels. He's going to save Omos for some reason, and he's going to, just kick everybody, because normally when guys enter the Rumble, they just attack everybody, right? But Dominic, Dominic comes in, and he's just like, oh, I see what you guys are doing here. He runs to the ring, and you think he's running to the ring to, like, do a Hurricane Rana. But no, he runs to the ring, slides in, and joins the pile to help eliminate Omos. And then AJ Styles bounces off the ropes and does, like, a dive on the pile to give them the momentum to get Omos over the top rope and out of the ring for the elimination. I thought that was good. Usually when a bunch of small guys, heels mostly, team up on a giant, the giant, is down, and then he goes, "Rah!" and everybody flies away.
Big Show.
Yeah.
Big Show.
Big Show, Yokozuna, Andre the Giant.
Mark Henry.
Yeah, they've all done that spot, and I figured Omos would do that, but he didn't. He just got eliminated.
Yeah, which was also great.
I liked
it. Was
it.
good to see him get eliminated.
I thought that was really good. Best part of the match for me. I like Gable, too.
It's just too bad Gable, I felt like when he got eliminated, it wasn't a big deal.
No.
That was a problem. There was no good ending for him.
You're right about that, but that's just kind of Gable. I like when Otis slammed Drew McIntyre and he went, "For the Academy!" I love that. That was really good. It was a good Otis moment. My boy Otis looking like a goddamn tree trunk in there.
No, it didn't look so good in the Rumble. Kofi Kingston.
Oh.
That was rough. That looked like it hurt
The
him
first
a lot.
time he's ever botched a Rumble spot, which is commendable.
Oh.
He's had a lot of successful ones that looked really risky. But this one, I mean, he was diving, so fast. There's not that much space for him to keep his feet above the floor.
He comes off the top rope. He gets pushed off the top rope. He tried to land hanging on the barricade with his feet hitting the barricade and just kind of holding. But he just, as he fell down, his feet hit the floor, and then he tried to lift them up and hold on to the barricade like Spider-Man. But it was obvious to everybody watching that his feet touched the floor. You saw the ref go to Kofi as he's hanging on and talk to him. They show a replay. They say, yeah, Kofi's feet touched the floor. They can't get around it. They can't say, oh, no, his feet didn't touch the floor, because in the camera shot that they showed live, his feet obviously touched the floor. So Kofi had to get eliminated there, which sucks, because you wonder, okay, what was he going to do? And how was Kofi really going to get eliminated from this Rumble? And what was the real plan for Kofi? But we will never know, because he tried to do a very fancy near elimination spot. But this time it backfired, and he got eliminated for real on the botch. That'll be an all-time Royal Rumble botch. That'll go on the list, right? I mean, that was bad. I felt bad for Kofi. Ray Cruz saying, poor Kofi botch. Yeah, I felt bad. It made me sad for Kofi.
Well, it's just too bad because it looked like he really hurt himself doing that. So not only did it, not work out, he's probably hurt right now too.
I hope not.
I mean, he was falling pretty hard, and he had to catch himself and like stop himself. That's got like hurt. Like around here. Because like when you hit the barrier like that. And,
who knows? His legs, his knees. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, it's just sad, and it was a damper on a Rumble that overall just felt kind of weak. You have Ricochet, you have Chad Gable, Dominic Mysterio. Here comes number 15. It's Happy Corbin. And then, it's number 16. Who's it going to be? Oh, it's Dolph Ziggler. Number 17, Sheamus. Sheamus came in and started beating people up. I really like seeing Sheamus just run through people. Number 18 was Rick Boogs, who looks jacked and is very strong, but, whatever. Madcap Moss at 19. When it was Rick Boogs followed by Madcap Moss, I said, is this a 24/7 title battle royal or the Royal Rumble? Like, I can't tell at this point. And then Riddle came out at 20, and then business started picking up at number 21 when Drew McIntyre showed up. And Drew McIntyre has had a serious neck injury and apparently has been rehabbing like a madman, and we should definitely commend him for coming back like a super athlete and superhuman for this Royal Rumble match. You may not be a Drew McIntyre fan, but you got to respect the guy for having the determination to rehab and come back and be ready for the Rumble. I thought at most he'd be ready for Mania, but the fact that he was in the Rumble tonight surprised me. So hats off to Drew McIntyre for making it tonight and looking good, looking like his normal self. Didn't look like he was a step behind whatsoever. I was a little bit surprised to see Drew. Were you?
Well, surprised, especially because he was near the end, too, right? He was the final two. I didn't expect to see Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre at the end. Like, I didn't see that at all.
Drew McIntyre?
Did you say Drew McIntyre?
I did, yeah.
Is that Pierce said that?
Yeah, that was
Adam
Pierce.
Pierce?
You called him McIntyre?
Drew McIntyre, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. Apparently, I read like what he had to do to like get back, like double like therapy like sessions and like something like neck compression therapy, which doesn't sound like a picnic.
Man,
Oof.
the guy's
No,
tough.
not at all.
The guy's super tough. So I'm really impressed with Drew McIntyre. I'm not a big fan of his, but I was happy to see him come back from injury. You never like to see a guy go down with a neck injury. Neck is scary. And, it's great to see a guy come back early from injury in the Royal Rumble. Must have been a great moment for him. And he did have a good showing in the Rumble. Not as good as Bat Bunny, who came in at number 27. That was probably the biggest surprise of the Rumble. We were wondering, were they going to have Jeff Jarrett in the Rumble? What the hell was that?
Weird noise there.
I don't know
I have
what
no
that
idea what
was.
happened there.
It's like a fairy godmother.
I have no idea what that was.
It's late.
I don't know what's going on. Do we have a call? Is that a call?
Is that a call?
I don't know. Let me see something. Hello? Hello? No. We don't have a call. I thought that was maybe the phone ringing or something. I don't know what that sound was. You can call in, too, if you want to. No one's called in, and that's all right. You don't have to call in if you don't want to. But if you want to talk to us, you can. If you are a member of the team, like Ray Cruz, like Doug Hepburn. Shout out to the members tonight checking in. I'm seeing a lot of members in the chat tonight after the Rumble. Ray Cruz, Doug Hepburn, Leor S. Leor S wants to know, who is Bobby Lashley going to face at WrestleMania? I think that's a very good question. Rob Kloos in the chat as well. A lot of members. We're going to get to Leor's question. I think it's a strong one. Jason Pete as well. A lot of members. Harold Schneider. Thank you to everybody who has signed up and is supporting the Ringside Report Network. Doug Hepburn and Harold Schneider, especially dropping the super chats as well tonight. Brock Lesnar, I think pretty safe to say, after winning the Royal Rumble, will go on and face Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania. Bobby Lashley now is the WWE Champion. I don't know. I think you have a few options. Seth Rollins? Kevin Owens?
One of Randy or Riddle?
Randy Orton, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Damian Priest? Maybe Kevin Owens takes the U.S. title off Damian Priest and Priest goes to face Bobby at Mania? I don't know. Do you bring Big E back from SmackDown to Raw to face Bobby and take the title off of him again? I don't know. Edge?
I mean, there's options. There's a lot of options. I definitely think Seth Rollins is a strong candidate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did beat the Universal Champion technically tonight, so he should get another title shot of some kind, no?
Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia, brother. I think that's where they're doing it. I think we do Seth Roman rematch in Saudi on the 19th of February.
Okay. Well, that keeps him for that. But still, he could get a shot at WrestleMania. It's not impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But you could also see AJ Styles as well. I mean, there's a lot of top contenders, I think, on Raw. You can really see like probably a 4 or 5 way for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah, a multi-man match for the WWE title is not a bad idea because I don't know if Bobby Lashley versus any of those choices is a strong enough match for Mania.
Maybe AJ might be, though.
I don't know. Box office-wise, I think you need to throw Seth in there to make it more interesting.
And a fatal 4-way, make it with Kevin.
I wouldn't mind Edge in there as well.
Yeah, Edge would be great, yeah. He's the biggest name out of all those guys.
That's it. Edge is the biggest name of the possibilities. I like seeing Bad Bunny in this Royal Rumble match, eliminating Sheamus. Didn't love seeing Shane McMahon in at number 28, eliminating Kevin Owens right away. Seeing Shane in there does nothing for me. Anybody care about Shane McMahon?
No, it's kind of pissing me off the fact that he was like one of the last 3.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, well, he's not going to win. He's just there. He's sweating and throwing his lousy little punches. It's just, that's enough. That's enough Shane McMahon.
I would have preferred
playing your rich boy games.
I would have preferred Jeff Jarrett or Scotty 2 Hotty. I don't need Shane McMahon.
Albert.
Yeah. Triple H.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey.
Well, I hope you guys realize that Shane McMahon's getting a WrestleMania match, and I think this is partly the reason why he was in the Rumble, to get you guys ready for that.
Against who do you think?
Great question. I mean, Edge would be great. Is Shane still a heel, though? I have no idea. It was really hard to tell what Shane is, because, I feel like he was supposed to be a face, but I'm not 100% sure. Because he went mainly against Kevin, right?
Yeah, but they've already done that at Mania. They're not doing that again.
No.
Shane versus Bobby.
That'd be fun. But I don't know if that's going to happen.
You shaved my dad's head, and I want revenge, Bobby Lashley.
That'd be funny if it happens. I don't think it's going to happen, but it'd be funny.
Donald Trump, special guest referee. He's not busy these days. Bring him back.
Special guest referee. I don't think he could fall to the mat and get up so quickly.
I'd like to see him try. Maybe he'd poop himself. It'd be funny.
I have a feeling that probably
controversial,
won't happen.
though. Yeah, I think it would be too controversial to bring in Trump. I think, back in the days, you could have Trump at WrestleMania and be involved in a match with Bobby Lashley and Umanga. But nowadays, I think if you brought Trump into WWE, there would be protests. People would be mad.
I think he'd just start cutting a promo about his own grievances, and it would just turn to something different.
I never lost the election.
Yeah.
All the Raw fans know that. It'd be crazy. I think it'd be a good promo, though, brother. I wouldn't mind seeing it. It'd be so nuts. It would enrage the folks, though. Some folks would be mad. So Shane comes in at 28. Didn't care to see him. Eliminates Kevin Owens. It sucks. Randy Orton comes in at 29. I thought, uh-oh, here comes Randy. If Brock doesn't win here, it might be Randy. Randy eliminated Big E with help from Riddle. Randy and Riddle tossed out Otis too, which I didn't like seeing. And then Brock Lesnar came in at number 30, and you're like, uh-oh. Well, we know what's going on here. He eliminates Randy. He hit the F5 on Bad Bunny, then tossed him out. Gotta love Bad Bunny's performance in the Rumble tonight, right? Eliminates Sheamus. Takes an F5 from Brock Lesnar. Stood up to Brock, stood face-to-face with him, wasn't scared. Should be, but, Brock tossed out Riddle, and then he F5 Drew McIntyre out of the ring to win the match. It was down to Brock, Riddle, and McIntyre. It was actually down to Brock, Bad Bunny, Riddle, and Drew McIntyre. They were the final four. And then
Shane was there too.
Oh, did Shane get eliminated after Bad Bunny?
I think so.
Shane was like final three.
Oh, okay. All right. So then Shane, got eliminated, and then Drew and Brock were the final two. Solid performance from Bad Bunny, though. I love seeing Bad Bunny make an appearance, and he looked good. You can't deny the star power and the wrestling ability of the Bad Bunny.
Yeah, he looked great. The spot where he held the rope down for Sheamus to go over, his timing was quite good. I've seen like pro wrestlers, do that spot way too early and it looks way too telegraphed.
Yeah.
But his had a spontaneity to it.
Felt good.
Yeah. Like when Sheamus got lit, I was like, whoa! Kind of reminded me of when Maven eliminated Undertaker. Just had that like, whoa, hey, this little guy did it.
Can't believe he eliminated Sheamus.
Sheamus pizza.
Crazy. And taking the F5 too from Brock.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't afraid. He didn't just, jump out of the ring.
You got to give it to him, John.
Yeah, he's got heart.
Well, I give him to the fact that, he had some decent timing in the ring. I mean, he still doesn't look like a wrestler, but, they put him over like he is one. Fine. I think maybe for the tag titles, put him and Priest against the Alpha Academy for the tag titles. That'd be probably a decent WrestleMania match for him.
They do that, they got to win.
Yeah, probably. Sure, why not?
I don't know if they should.
Can he calm Damian Priest's temper?
Why are you trying to put my boy Bad Bunny up against my favorite tag team, Alpha Academy? Trying to tear my heart in two, John. I don't know who to pick there. On the one hand, I like Bad Bunny and I want to see him win everything. On the other hand, I don't think Alpha Academy should lose to a guy like Bad Bunny. The two most legitimate guys in the company shouldn't lose to, one of the most not legitimate guys in the company. For the Academy! I love Otis.
Ducky.
I'm a big Otis guy, Big Otis fan. So Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, tough to figure out what they're gonna do there. We'll have to wait and see on Raw. My best bet would be, I'd say probably the winner of some sort of Elimination Chamber match, but who that's gonna be, I have no idea.
No.
You have any idea? What's your best guess?
Again,
My
I
best
like
guess-
Edge or Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I don't think Seth. If it's not Seth, though, what does Seth do at WrestleMania, right?
Right.
Maybe Seth and Edge in a triple threat with Bobby. I think that'd be pretty good. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, multi-man match seems likely with Roman and Brock being a big one-on-one.
Yeah.
That one won't be a super long match, so a multi-man match will take up some time.
It'll be a multi-man match that'll be,
22
at
minutes.
the beginning or middle of the card of one of the nights of WrestleMania, probably night one. And night one will be main evented by Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey one-on-one. I don't think Ronda's going to challenge Charlotte. I think it'll be Ronda versus Becky night one for the main event of WrestleMania, and night two main event of WrestleMania will be, of course, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Those are your big WrestleMania main events that we got set up tonight. Ronda will main event night one against Becky. Brock will main event night two against Roman. And then everything else is filler, really. Who does Charlotte face? Sasha? Sasha didn't have a great showing tonight.
Aaliyah?
Yeah, right.
I don't know about you guys, but I felt that there's music again.
Yeah.
I heard that, not just felt it, but I felt when you saw Lita and Charlotte and they had the WrestleMania banner before it caught on fire, shown, I thought they were kind of keying us into that, that was foreshadowing.
Lita didn't look great, though. I don't know if she can do it.
I'm just trying to give you options here. I mean, there's not a lot of options here, so.
Well, here's what I think, if I may interject.
Of course.
I think Ronda should challenge Charlotte.
Yeah.
Because
there is
I
talk of
don't
that.
because a Becky feud with Ronda, I'm not quite sure how it goes because right now it seems like they've been trying to build Becky Lynch to be this massive heel, and Ronda's kind of coming back for revenge and taking her down. But I don't know if the WWE audiences is really going to like buy into that, because when Ronda left at the end, you know, there was a bit of a contentious relationship with the fans. The fans kind of were like, "Oh, you're coming in here on our turf," and like they didn't love her like I think WWE wanted her to be loved. And you know, like guys like us like her because we know who Ronda Rousey is and we appreciate her.
But the fans turned on her.
Yeah. And, you know, Becky Lynch, if she's a heel, she's still going to come out there and be like, Ronda, you're a big weirdo, and I'm a real wrestler and stuff. And I think we might just see a rehash of that kind of feud. And I don't know if I want that for Ronda, because it seemed like Ronda was kind of, like, upset by that, you know? She was getting, like, you know, I don't want her, you know, to be like...
She seemed legit mad, so mad that she left wrestling.
And like we were kind of talking about, like the fans didn't really appreciate what they had with Ronda, and now she's kind of coming back, and it seems like she's gonna get another dose of like that indifference or anger from like fans who have no business criticizing Ronda Rousey's work, but will still do it anyway. And like,
but she'll get the same reaction against Charlotte. The fans, Charlotte or Ronda or Charlotte or Becky, because they're the WWE people that are there every week and they're familiar, and Ronda's the outsider, Charlotte or Becky, whoever it is against Ronda, is going to be the babyface. It doesn't matter.
I think Charlotte could do a better job of like making it more...
It'd be tough. I think it'd be tough. People love Charlotte. She's the queen. I think you do Ronda versus Becky because Becky beat Ronda, and Becky could come out and talk about how she beat Ronda, and Ronda's not so tough, and Ronda's lost a lot of big matches lately, and she lost her UFC fights, and she lost against big-time Bex at WrestleMania, and you do that and hope that the fans stay with Ronda and turn on Becky, but I don't think that they will, especially come WrestleMania time, but that's just what you do. I think the match is still big. The match will still be good. I think Ronda and Becky is the play, because, you know, they have that unfinished business because Becky beat her a couple years ago. And honestly, after looking at the Women's Rumble and seeing who the options were, I didn't like any of those options for Charlotte. But after watching the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, I did see one person that seemed like a hell of a challenge for Charlotte Flair. And her name is the Glamazon Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania would be money. Beth looked great tonight in that match with her husband Edge. Edge and Beth Phoenix get the win over Miz and Maurice after twin glam slams. Edge and Beth both hitting the glam slam and doing the double pin on Miz and Maurice for the win. Beth hit a powerbomb on Miz at one point. Maurice actually hit a nice top rope Hurricane Rana on Edge, followed by a skull-crushing finale by Miz for a 2 count. But I would really like to see Beth Phoenix versus Charlotte. I think that would be a money match. You talked about Lita. Lita is a legend, but I don't think she can really go at that level anymore. Beth Phoenix, a legend who can still go. She proved tonight she can still go. Why not do her and Charlotte at WrestleMania? If not, like Charlotte, Sasha, Charlotte, Bayley, you know, maybe you do Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley, triple threat, something like that. But other than that, I'd say Charlotte, Beth. Like for my money, if I had to pick, I'd pick Beth as Charlotte's opponent. I'd like to see that.
I mean, I think, again, we're going to see an Elimination Chamber match probably to decide who's going to face Charlotte more than likely. Because I feel like they need something big for this. They need something to really put over a challenger right now, because they don't have any top challengers. I guess Sasha kind of is a bit. I mean, they could always just do that, right? Charlotte and Sasha, that's kind of an easy one.
Yeah, but it's a little too easy. And I don't know how much heat is behind it, and I don't know how they get people to care. I think if you do Beth versus Charlotte, it's like legend versus legend, you know? Can Charlotte beat Beth? Beth was the most dominant woman of her generation. Is she still the best? Is she still unbeatable? They sold her like a monster against Maurice. Maurice was scared of Beth, right? Beth looks really strong. She looks jacked. When she was wrestling, no one was touching her. She just smashed people. She was untouchable. Her and Charlotte, to me, is a money match. I would love to see that. I would love to see that match. I really, really would. What do you think is going to happen at Mania? Do they do Becky Ronda or Ronda Charlotte? What would you rather see? I think Becky Ronda is what I would really prefer to see. I mean, I think Charlotte and Ronda would be fun. I think, honestly, Becky and Charlotte, again, would be maybe the biggest match they could do because of the heat there, the real-life stuff, but I don't think they're going that way. I think Ronda, Becky, especially since Ronda won the Rumble and she's going to be on Raw tomorrow night to say something, you would think to the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. I'd like Beth, Charlotte, Becky, Ronda. What do you think, Johnny? What would you do?
Well, I think Ronda's going to be on both shows. We're going to do this whole like choice thing. It was kind of like Edge last year. Like, it's not going to get decided right away. I think Brock, it's kind of easy. You know, it's going to be Roman, so they're going to get that out of the way kind of quick.
Yep.
But I feel like with Ronda, she's probably going to be on both shows just to help too with ratings as well. Just like you get Ronda on Raw and SmackDown. So they're going to drag this out. I really hope it's Becky. To me, that's the big box office match. Like, really, like that's the blockbuster kind of fight in a sense. Like, I don't feel like Charlotte Ronda. It's okay match, but I don't feel like the history is really there as much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a big attraction. Like, because everyone remembers that was Ronda's last match. She lost to Becky, even though she wasn't really pinned in a sense. She was, they say, pinned. So you can play off that. There's a lot you can play into that. With Charlotte, she was just kind of there.
Yeah. Charlotte was just, the third person in the match. Becky got the pin on Ronda. I think that's the move. I think Charlotte goes up against Beth Phoenix. If, I were choosing it, Derek John says if Charlotte faces Beth, who does Sasha face? I don't think it matters, really. Sasha could be in the women's Andre Battle Royal.
There's a lot of question marks.
Yeah, I mean, Sasha could be in something. Maybe her and Bayley team up again to go up against the tag team champions, Carmella and Zelina.
Oh, could be.
I mean, who knows? Who knows? I don't think it's that important what Sasha does, honestly.
Well,
I mean, I like Sasha and all, but you look at what she did in the Rumble tonight, she obviously doesn't figure into the plans in a major way. She has still yet to win a Royal Rumble, right? This is the 5th Women's Rumble tonight. We have Becky, Charlotte, Bianca, Asuka, and now Ronda as the winners. Sasha and Bayley
Strong winners.
have not won. Yeah, strong winners, but hey, Bayley wasn't in the Rumble tonight. Asuka wasn't in the Rumble tonight. Alexa Bliss wasn't in the Rumble tonight. Paige, a lot of people thought was going to be in the Rumble. She was not in the Rumble tonight. Some people thought Cody Rhodes would be in the men's Rumble tonight. That was obviously not going to happen.
Yeah, no AEW tonight, thank God.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I didn't think there was any chance in hell of that. I don't know where people were coming up with that, but are you surprised? I mean, the men, I'm not surprised. The women, a little bit surprised that some of these women weren't there. Like Alexa Bliss? I mean, Bayley, okay, maybe she's still hurt. Asuka, maybe she's still hurt. Paige, she's probably still hurt and, not cleared to return. But Alexa Bliss, is she still hurt?
I don't know, but the problem is with that is like you haven't really seen them wrestle that much, right? Like Bliss or Bayley, like Bayley hasn't been around whatsoever. Just for them to come back and not win, it's kind of a letdown. So don't you want their return to kind of be a bigger deal, especially with Bayley, where she'd go right into possibly the SmackDown Women's title picture?
You would think, but look at Sasha's return. Sasha comes back on SmackDown, does nothing in a little brawl last night. Then she comes in. She's number 1 in the Rumble, but doesn't last past number 7.
Right, yeah. Well, that's what she wanted. She agreed to that. Maybe it was better not to agree to that.
Yeah, but if you're Bayley or Asuka or Alexa Bliss, like, what makes them so special that they can't return in the Rumble because they have to have a better showing, where Sasha Banks basically makes her return in the Rumble and not that great. And you would think Sasha's more important. People think Sasha's going to face Charlotte at Mania.
But she's on TV almost every week, though. It's a little bit different, though.
She
Damn,
hasn't
that's
been.
their first time. Well, she came back on yesterday, right? So she already had
Yeah.
her comeback.
Yeah, but it was weak, and it was just to build the Rumble. Anyways, it didn't, wasn't great for Sasha. Anyways, we'll see what they do with Sasha going forward.
Do you guys think Ronda is going to be here for a while, or is this just the Mania season?
I think if she's going up to Mania, she's going to win at Mania, and then she'll be around after Mania for a bit.
Like till SummerSlam?
Maybe
Probably till next year.
a year. Yeah, she probably signed a year deal. That's what I would guess. That's my best guess. Another year. Probably until next year's Mania, and then she'll go away for a bit. Or not.
Hard to tell, because her career now is very different than what it was when she first entered the WWE. Her stock was a lot bigger. I think there was like a movie about her in development. She was going to play herself.
No, that was over. That wasn't happening.
By the time she entered WWE?
No,
I thought that was still happening.
that was done when she lost to the
Holly
Holm fight.
Okay. But
No.
that wasn't that long after.
No,
No.
she's basically in the same spot she was now, except that she's got more wrestling experience, and she's got a history in the WWE.
Okay.
I think she's in a better spot now. I don't know. We'll see what Ronda does, but she's going to be on Raw Monday night. I look forward to that. Becky gets the win over Doudrop. What'd you think of Becky and Doudrop, John? I thought it was fine.
Well, it's always hard to have a match after Rumble, right? And the crowd really just didn't care. And also, it's heel versus heel. It's a tough match to do. I find, like, you guys, I guess, notice this because you watch Raw more often. Doudrop is really slow. Like, I know, like, she's big, but, like, when she runs, like, wow, is she slow. Like, I feel like if she wasn't massive, like, that impact, you don't feel that at all. Like, it just feels very weak.
I don't know. I didn't notice that she's really slow.
It's not really something I noticed.
I didn't
And
notice.
I found, like, her moves were just repetitive. Like, she just kept doing the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, do back senton, do a roll. Like, she's very limited in what she does, I find. Also, I'm sure she was nervous as hell doing that. It's the biggest match of her career.
Yeah.
So it's tough. She was in a tough spot there, but I just wasn't impressed by the match.
I like Becky Lynch's Molly go round. That was nice.
Well, Becky had to pull off some different things because she was also kind of limited. She can't do a lot of moves that you do to most people because, like, it's hard to lift her.
The rock bottom from the second rope for the finish was pretty nice, too. I like that. Nice finish. Solid move.
The finish was probably the best part of the match.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad, though. You want the finish to be the best part, if not, one of the best parts at least, right? You want the finish to be strong, and it was a strong finish.
That's what I remember from the match.
Strong finishes help a match. It's the last thing you see. You want the last thing you see to be good. Not Brock Lesnar winning the Royal Rumble for some reason. That was the last thing we saw tonight. I don't know.
I like that it got boos.
Yeah, it did get some boos. And that Royal Rumble,
Yeah, but Bobby got cheered when he won, though. Like, it was kind of a weird crowd tonight.
Yeah, because they knew Brock was supposed to win, and then when it happened, they're like, boo, come on. It's all about Brock and Roman again. The WrestleMania sign lit on fire at one point. After Ronda won the Women's Rumble, there's like pyro that shoots out of the sign, and the sign lit on fire. They had to evacuate the section beneath the sign so people didn't light on fire, and then they had to put out the fire on the sign, and then they lowered the sign to put out the fire. Then they raised the sign again, and when Brock Lesnar won the Royal Rumble and pointed to the sign, pyro went off again, and again the sign lit on fire, so they had to put it out. But thankfully the event was over, so hopefully there were no injuries or casualties, but you never know. So the sign lit on fire a couple of times.
What's up with that?
A lot of things going wrong in the Royal Rumble. The Rumble match, Kofi Kingston, signs lighting on fire. They announced 44,390 as the attendance for the Royal Rumble in St. Louis tonight. According to Wrestle Tickets on Twitter, the attendance was actually about 39,417, so off by about 5,000, but roughly 40-something thousand tonight for a Royal Rumble, which is pretty cool. Good for them. Good attendance. Almost capacity. Near sellout. in St. Louis at that dome.
Nice reactions.
Big crowd, hot crowd tonight. Help the show.
Huge difference from last year where we had 0 in attendance, so
Oh, yeah.
big difference.
Doug saying he didn't notice the sign. You won't be able to see the sign. They didn't show
Yeah,
the
you couldn't see
sign
it, really.
on fire if you went online. Because there was at one point in a match where the fans were kind of pointing at something, and you could tell something was
I think
going
it was Becky's
on.
match.
Yeah, something was going on, but you couldn't tell what it was. And then I went on Twitter to some people that I knew were in the building, and they were posting pictures and videos and stuff so you could see the sign on fire. WrestleMania is on fire
Good thing
this
they
year.
didn't have to evacuate the building, you know?
Yeah, you were at a TNA pay-per-view where they had to evacuate the building because the roof was on fire.
That's right.
During the pay-per-view. He was at that one.
Right at the start. Hard Justice 2006. Yeah, like the whole like ring started filled with like foam from because they were like it was in the rafters. And yeah, as we're being let out, I saw Jeff Jarrett like losing his shit. And he's like in his ring gear,
Yelling at firemen.
like the robe.
Calling them slap nuts.
Yeah, just like we're live. I think you heard him say something like that.
We're live on
Pay-per-view,
pay-per-view,
yeah.
slap nuts.
And we're like standing outside like the soundstage at Universal Studios for like 20 minutes. Then like we're led back in, but yeah. So
They
like,
lost the
but like,
match for that.
but like the Impact Zone holds like 3,500 people maybe.
Yeah.
So
They
like
only had to evacuate
40 something
section.
thousand at a WWE thing at like a football stadium. Like I
Disaster.
can't even comprehend. Like early in the show too, like in winter, like I can't even begin to comprehend what would have gone to that if like they activated the sprinkler system.
Yeah, it could have got real bad, right? If that sign really lit on fire and other things start lighting on fire in the stadium, and then all of a sudden the stadium's on fire and you got to stop the Rumble, and who knows what could have gone on. But thankfully it was a small fire, and it was staying on the WrestleMania sign, and everything was fine.
And
But yeah, it could have gone really bad.
And I like to think that it was Vince McMahon who was like, "Put that damn sign back up, damn it! I don't care if it sets on fire again. I need people to point at the WrestleMania sign, damn it."
Yeah, Vince
You
needed
know.
people to point at that sign. I thought once the sign was on fire, I was like, well, I guess that's it. They're going to not point at the sign the rest of the night, but they're like, no, put the sign back up, put out the fire, put the sign back up, and yes, when Brock points at the sign when he wins the Rumble, we want to see the pyro go off on that sign. Well, Vince, what if the sign lights on fire again? I don't give a shit. You know, like he doesn't
And
care.
you put it out again, damn it!
Yeah, just
and then
put it
you're
out.
fired.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Overall, though, I thought the Royal Rumble was kind of fun tonight. Not a terrible pay-per-view. I'm giving it a 7.5 on 10, which as I go through this, I'm thinking that was too high. Maybe a 7 is more appropriate. I don't know.
I'll stick at 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5. It was fun. Like nothing was bad. The men's Rumble match was kind of weak as far as who was in it. A lot of jobbers. But overall, it was kind of fun. And the women's Rumble match was good. And everything else on the card. Brock and Bobby and Seth and Roman were both solid matches despite the finishes. So a lot of eventful stuff happening tonight at the Royal Rumble. And there will be more eventful stuff happening coming up Monday night on Raw. And I will be back here on Raw to talk about everything with you. Back Monday night, right after Raw. Raw will be in Cincinnati. I'll be back the first Raw after the Rumble on the road to WrestleMania. I will be back here Monday night recapping Monday Night Raw with you here on the Ringside Report Network. Thank you to everybody tuning in tonight. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell so you get the notifications every time we are on. Shout out to all the members joining us here tonight. Derek John, Doug Hepburn, Harold Schneider, Ray Cruz, Leor S. My goodness. So many members checking in tonight. Rob Cluse. Appreciate each and every one of you guys supporting the Ringside Report Network. Yeah. Thank you. Jason Pete. Thank you to Harold. Thank you to Doug dropping super chats here tonight. Harold is the super chat leader. Hope you enjoyed the Royal Rumble post show. And that's it. Johnny, final words, final thoughts?
Well, WrestleMania should be fun. I hope. I'm hoping WrestleMania can be better than this. Last year, I thought the Rumble was probably their best show, so not a great start, sadly. But there's hope, anyways. The Rumble always gives hope.
Well, we'll see what happens. Johnny North didn't love the Rumble. Hopefully, the rest of the year gets better. The next WWE pay-per-view that we will be recapping will be the WWE Elimination Chamber live in Saudi Arabia on the 19th of February. We'll be doing a review show right after that one. And, of course, after every Raw on Monday, after every Dynamite on Wednesday, and after every Smackdown on Friday. Doug Hepburn dropping a super chat says, thanks again, guys. Late night. Have a good one. Back at you, Doug. Thank you. Thank you, Doug. Shout out to Doug and Nick in Kingston, Ontario. Huh?
Good time. Good place, Kingston.
There you go.
Good burgers.
You got any words? Final words?
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Be good to each other.
Take care of yourselves.
And each other.
Saudi Arabia. Time to start that conversation up again. Like whenever WWE goes there, and it'll be an afternoon show.
I hope so. I think so. On a Saturday, that'll be
It's
fun.
like 3:00 usually the start time.
Usually, yeah.
All right, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I mean, afternoon shows are a lot easier to handle than these late night shows, right? I mean, this Rumble ended at what, midnight?
Yeah, just about.
And the last Crown Jewel is pretty good, if I recall.
You hearing these weird sound effects? I don't know what they are. I think they're notifications, but I'm not sure what they're for. There you go. Yeah, Crown Jewel, no. Elimination Chamber coming up on the 19th. And again, I'll be back here Monday night after Raw, Wednesday night after Dynamite, Thursday night at 8 p.m. for some UFC talk, and then again on Friday night after SmackDown with Big Johnny North for Wrestling Uncensored. And that is it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here tonight for the Royal Rumble review show on the Ringside Report Network.